What's up, guys? It's Maria here. Welcome to my channel. So in this video, we are gonna talk about Pluto. Like, what's Pluto? What does it mean in traditional astrology? Also, evolutionary astrology, and how important it is knowing the position of Pluto in your birth chart, and how it can tell you your life purpose or your soul's intention to learn certain lessons in this lifetime. So before I get into it, I just want to show you guys what Pluto looks like in the reality. So it's a little bit red, and I think it's not planet anymore. Like they downgraded into like dwarf planet or whatever. But in astrology, it still counts planet, and it's the most important one actually. If you like to know how, like what it means having Pluto in your chart and what it means in a like specific house in your natal chart, watch out for my future videos because I will be explaining what it means having Pluto in your first house, second house, or different houses. And if you don't know your birth chart yet, you can go to astro.com and download your birth chart from there. I think that's the most like the popular one to get your natal chart graphic, basically. So let's get into Pluto. So in traditional astrology, Pluto is the ruler of 8th house, the house ruled by the zodiac sign of Scorpio. And so 8th house and Scorpio ruled by Pluto. So Pluto represents our deepest desire or unconscious desire or our soul's attachment. So in evolutionary astrology, on the other hand, it literally represents our soul. Like what's its intention or attachments to come to this lifetime, because your soul doesn't incarnate unless it has certain attachments that it wants to express or certain desires that it wants to fulfill. So once you exhaust all your attachments, all your desires in this lifetime, or the 3D reality, you will stop incarnating. You basically go back to where you came from, which is source, the creation of all. You're gonna merge with source. So this is the sign of the Pluto. Excuse my drawing. So this is like represents, the circle represents the unity consciousness, which is source. It's complete. And this arc represents the veil of forgetting, like, and the cross represents our physical human body, or our separate, like we are separate from everything else through our physical form. So this represents our physical body, or the separation, and this represents unity, and this is veil of forgetting. So you forget who you are, which is your part of the source consciousness, and you incarnate this physical reality to experience yourself or know yourself. So there's this veil of forgetting separates us from the unity consciousness. So it's hard to like understand how we are connected with everything, and everything is one. It's like really hard to understand intellectually unless you experience it. So it's more of a experience instead of just like intellectually knowing it. So why it's so important to know where your Pluto position in your birth chart, because soul goes through its evolutionary journey. So its evolution is basically, it has two desires. The one desire soul has is it desires what the source desires. The other desire is the separate desire, like it wants to know how it feels being separated from the source, and it wants to know itself, like who am I without this totality of consciousness. Let's say, like, if you're part of the unity, or if you're part of the community, and then you lose your self identity, you lose your identity in that group. But if you want to know yourself, you gotta separate yourself from that group. You got to explore your own, what do you like, what you don't like, what's your personality, what you value, what you don't value, all of that. You got to experience that, like, without the totality. So that's how our soul separates from I like the point ahead, like we separate from the source consciousness and come to this reality to experience and know ourselves. So there's a saying of how, like, the position of Pluto shows you the age of your soul. So there's like really old souls that experience lifetime after lifetime, and there's young souls just started their journey. So if you're Pluto in the first house, it may have like just started its journey. If you're Pluto is in your 12th house, like you pretty much exhausted all the different experience. Now you're in the stage of merging with the source. So my Pluto in 12th house, so I guess I assume I'm like really old soul. And also, like, knowing the position of your Pluto tells you what's the intention of your souls for this lifetime. Let's say your soul is in the 9th house, and your Pluto is in the 9th house, and so basically you are gonna learn certain lessons of the opposition of that house, which is the 3rd house, Gemini. Or your soul could be in your Pluto could be in a 2nd house. You are gonna learn the polarity point, which is the 8th house, or Scorpio lessons. So it's really important to know which house your Pluto is located. Mine is in the 12th house, so its polarity point is 6th house, ruled by Virgo. So probably need to learn some Virgo lessons for this lifetime. So your soul is pretty much experienced a different lifetime and a set intention for each one. So knowing like your past life experience also helps you to how to go about this lifetime, because 80% of the time we act out of our default mode, which is came from our past life. It's almost like our childhood, we are conditioned, we are taught certain belief systems. And when we grow up, we operate out of that belief system we were taught as a young kid. So same goes to our soul, like whatever we experienced previous lifetime, we're just going to bring into this lifetime and we operate default mode. But the natural desire of the soul, which it wants to evolve and grow, so it wants to experience different things. It doesn't want to experience the same thing over and over and over again. So that in your birth chart, knowing your moon's nodal, like south node and north node, really helps you to understand what have you experienced the last previous lifetime and what you intend to experience this lifetime. So let's say my south node is in Leo 9th house. So I probably had a lot of knowledge in like philosophy or higher like belief system or maybe religion, things like that in my past life, and I really shined like Leo, like I really expressed or I mastered this 9th house matters for philosophy, belief system, religion, things like that. And in this lifetime, my North Node in the 3rd house, so my soul intend to learn more of 3rd house lessons, which is communication. And I'm creating YouTube videos and communicating with you guys. So it wants to experience a different lessons. So how it relates Pluto with North Node and South Node is your, let's say, two-person, they both have their Pluto in their, let's say, 10th house. But their life trajectory is going to be totally different because their the moon node is in the different houses. Let's say the person 1 has the North Node in the 2nd house, South Node in the 8th house, and person 2 has South Node in the 9th house and North Node in 3rd house. So they are gonna learn totally different lessons, even though they both have Pluto in their 9th house. So you really need to like understand the moon's polarity point to understand what your soul intend for this lifetime. So I don't want to keep going on and on with this. Basically, Pluto represents your soul and it wants to experience different separated desires and exhaust those desires at the end and merge with the source. And so if you are watching this video, you're in a physical form right now, that means you still have a separate desire. So you want to experience or you have certain attachments to this life form. So your soul is keep reincarnating. So it's really important to know what's the intention of your soul to reincarnate in this lifetime. In order to find out that, you got to know what house your Pluto is resigned and what polarity point your moon's nodal axis. So we can interpret or we can synthesize together what it means for you. So in the next couple of videos, I'm gonna go through each different house, like Pluto in the different houses and what it means, what lessons or what desires your soul wants to achieve, or what intention your soul has this for this lifetime. And stay tuned for that. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video.